Alright, we turn on camera for a while later. See you soon.
Okay.
Testing.
Alright, let's turn on the camera. I'm turning on. Can you see me? Not so. Hi,
Oh, yeah.
good afternoon. Is it the first time you see me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Second.
huh? Huh? We haven't had a chance to meet the face to face yet, right?
Oh, yeah.
Before we continue, oh, yellowish, huh? My light here, isn't it yellowish? Or maybe my screen. We haven't had a chance to meet face to face in the campus yet. So I'm a Miss Lee, Lee. There's only one Miss Lee in the Thai UC Sabah branch. Now, is my voice clear to three of you? If yes, can you type one in the chat box? If my voice clear, type one in the chat box. Sometimes this microphone could be a problem. Okay, good, clear. I've been working with the Thai UC Sabah branch for more than 10 years, about 15, 16 years back. And teaching IT for so many years already. This is our first time to meet you here. Do you have any questions you want to ask me?
Uh, so far, no.
No question.
So far, no.
May I have? Okay, thank you for feedback. Yeah, I like small group because we have a more chance to interaction. Can you all introduce yourself? This is our first time in the class. Perhaps some other lecturers you meet them for many times, but my class is the first time. So I would like to know uh, where are you now? Where are you now? KK or Sabah? some other city, some other places? Are you local or are you outstation student? And which secondary school are you from? Okay, I hope you can turn on camera. I want to hear your voice. Who want to start first? Three of you who want to start first. Pharaoh, Pharaoh, am I pronounced correctly? Pharaoh,
Yes.
Pharaoh, betul. Pharaoh. So Calvin and Noel. Am I pronounced correctly, Noel?
Ah, yeah.
Who want to start first?
Me. Can.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So I'm from Lockheed. So I just finished my STPM. Then now we start continue my degree in SEM 4. Yeah, that's all.
Some more you want to share? How's your study so far? This is your SEM number.
4.
This is SEM number 4. So means you have gone through one whole year online study.
Ah, yeah.
And I'm happy and glad that three of you still with us. Enough determined. Some students cannot cope with online and straight away drop off. I'm happy three of you still with us. This is SEM 4 means you are year 2 already. So you are matured student compared to diploma student definitely. Yeah, I heard a lot of good feedback from other lecturers. Yeah, thank you, Noel. Kelvin and Farrell, who want to be the next?
Uh, yeah. Uh, I'm still in KK, and also sent for also from Lockheed lah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so do you know Noel before you join us?
No, another year. I
Oh,
24.
oh,
Yeah.
I see. Different batch, isn't it?
Yeah. Different
How's your
different.
study so far? So far, so good.
Exam okay lah. Just only the assignments I struggle a bit.
There's a pros and cons, right? Online classes. Thank you, Kelvin. Let's have Farrell.
Hi. My name is Vera. My previous high school was St. Michael Penampang. I live here, Penampang, Kampung Inabong, and also this is my second year, semester 4.
Mr. Paul. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Farrell. How's your classes usually? Do you turn on camera while having lectures, tutorial, practical? Since you are year 2 degree student, so I give um, option.
No camera. We usually turn off our camera lah. Yeah.
Usually turn on camera.
I turn off. Turn off.
Usually turn off. Why? You have a mobile data, you're using mobile data or Wi-Fi at home?
Um, for me, I use Wi-Fi lah, but sometimes my camera doesn't work. It's
Oh, then how
suddenly.
about Kelvin and Noel? Oh, thank you, Farrell. Thank you. Do you prefer turn on camera, turn off camera, Kelvin and Noel?
Turn off lah.
Why?
I prefer.
Some students, when turn off camera, suddenly can disappear. But I believe three of you will not, since only three, right? I will call up your name time to time. Okay? Do you have anything you want to share before I continue?
So far now.
So far, no. Let me introduce with my briefing first, yeah? The same screen. Give me a moment. Okay, I respect all your choice. If you prefer turn off, then during lectures we will turn off. But this is a briefing, then we still turn on at the moment. Okay, we maintain on at the moment. Few more minutes. Sometimes this PowerPoint could be a problem here. This is a VIT 1093. My laptop doesn't like this PowerPoint. Let me present one more time. Okay, full screen now. So this is a degree program, semester 1, year 2, Introduction to Computer Security. So when you look at this title, what's the first impressions? What's the first thing come to your mind when you look at this title? Yeah,
Security.
security. Yes, good. That's one of the words there, security. What's security? What is security? No need to be too serious. Just make it like discussions. What's your expectations from this course?
Learn how to secure data on your website, like that, in computer.
Okay, some more lagi.
Protect
Several
from
more.
Protect from um, third party threat like that. Like hacker, like one.
Okay, some more. Did you learn any similar content from the previous courses? Did you learn something touching on security before this?
only login password only.
Login password. Login password.
That doesn't count.
Hmm?
Security. Yeah. Does that count as security? Yeah. Like,
Which
login.
course is that? Subject mana satu?
I forgot. It was doing a web. It was just making websites using the
Websites.
program. I forgot the name of the program.
By which lecturer? Do you still remember lecturer's name?
I forgot
Miss
which.
Miss Melissa teach us the website.
Web design, is it?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you correct the website, you all need to correct the login page. So that's
Yes.
one. Okay, thank you for sharing. Why we need to, okay, that one I will explain in detail later. So now before we protect our computer system, we have to know what are the threats, like ancaman. What are the threats that available in the surrounding? We have to understand that so that we can clearly identify where is the threat come from. Then only we decide what is a better way to protect our computer system. Okay, next one, Miss Lee, LEE. There's only one Miss Lee here in Sabah branch. Consultation hours, but I believe nowadays students will never ever contact me during my consultation. Students sometimes they will message me midnight when they are free. I hope you don't. Yeah. If you have a question, please do email me. Who is the class rep here?
No.
Who? Class rep here?
Okay. No.
Yeah. Who? Noel?
I,
Yeah. Please create a group, WhatsApp group, yeah, with my contact number. with the title mm, Okay, correct the WhatsApp group with the title that I shared with you. And my contact number is there. Okay, jot it down.
Okay.
Screenshot. I believe you have a many WhatsApp group already, right? With different courses. Okay, jot it down, yeah. If you have any, you need any guidance, you can email me. All right. So next one, objective. Overview the needs in computer security discipline. So learn the different aspects of the fundamental. Terminology means all the terms, all the words, all the terms that you need to know and you need to understand in computer security field. Equip a strong foundation for further advanced study security issue. Means before you go ahead for advanced topic, yeah, this is the intro, this is the base that you need to understand. Not saying that theory not important, still important before you go for further stage, right? Learning outcome. By the completion of the course, three of you shall be able to understand fundamentals of security components, basic security terminologies, and types of security attacks available nowadays. Computer security discipline, including cryptography. This one we learn in chapter 3 and 4. Interesting topic. Explain the importance of computer security technology, how to overcome them. This you will learn very soon. Today, 1 to 3 o'clock, our lecture 2 hours, and we have 1 hour tutorials. So this is the introductions to computer security. So we don't have a practical yet. Okay, we don't have a practical in this course. If you notice in the Google Classroom, I did post. I posted all the lecture notes and the tutorials questions are there. If you have time, you can glance through all the topics there. Okay, perhaps some of the topic you already know before, so you can try out the questions. In total, we have only 9 chapters. Let look at the topics here. Today and the next week, I will start chapter 1 today. Yeah? I will start half of the chapter today, and then chapter number 2, malicious software, cryptography, split 2 parts, week 3 and week 4. So this is a big topic, followed by the rest. Okay. Which topic you from the list here? Which one are the topic that you want to know most? Which topic that you want to know the most?
Number 2.
Number 5.
Number 5, user authentications and access control. Yes, nowadays everything about access control because we don't want some other third party or unauthorized users to access our property. Yeah, that's definitely there are a lot of way, banyak cara. There's a lot of way can be used
I
to.
hear I hear the easiest is just ask the IT support to just give excuse to IT support and then they give you the access to website.
Yeah, but you still have to know what's the reason you want to access the website.
I hear in the news somebody used the excuse like he lost his phone to get access to help to get the IT support to help him hack the send in the malicious software or the code to access the main website.
Once again, means someone lost the phone. And then,
yeah. Someone said excuse that the hacker said he pretend to be the boss, and then he said he lost his phones, and then he asked the IT support to help him access the website.
yes, this is one of the social engineering way we do.
Yeah, I hear that very common one.
Yeah, very common nowadays. We will go through in detail in our topic. That's an interesting topic and happening nowadays. Look at the next slide here. We have a main reference, computer security. I have the book here. Not so slim like this. Wait, can you see? Oh, because the book cannot capture, right? Ah, like this. How many inch? Let me measure for you. Many 2.5 inches. If you are interested to get this book, you can go to our library. Trojan horse. Yeah, yeah. When you look at the horse straight away, you learn Trojan horse before. I mean the about sorry about what is Trojan horse
Yeah.
and which course is that?
No, I just know the
No.
history.
Oh, you never
It's
learned,
the
but
movie.
you know about it, right?
I just know the history. Yeah.
Know the history, yes. This one will be covered in malware chapter number 2. After that, okay, this one we have done. This is an additional reference. Some of the content we capture from Security Plus. It's a CompTIA Security Plus syllabus. So in the future, if you are interested to take securities Cisco professional certificate, you have some background here. Assessment, this is always students will interested. There are only two components here, assignment and e-test, so 60%. The assignment question I haven't received from KL yet. Not sure whether individual or group work. Yeah, just wait and see. Which one do you prefer, individual or group work?
Group.
Group work. Other courses also all group work.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. Maybe by next week. These two converted to 50%, coursework 50%, and then final online e-assessment will be 50%. So together 100%. So this is a purely theory courses. That's all from me. Introduction done already. So I give you 1 minute. Perhaps if you have anything you want to ask, 1 minute.
All theory only.
Yes, we don't have.
No
This is an
coding, just
introduction.
no
This is
coding,
an
like
introduction
just
to yeah.
no coding, like
Sorry.
no coding, like just
Yeah.
knowledge only.
You like coding?
Okay lah, no coding okay.
Before coding, this is you need a strong base. Okay, you need a fundamental strong base understanding first before go for coding. Coding will be another level.
Okay.
Yeah. If no question, let's take a short break. Okay, toilet break, and then come back. We will start chapter number 1. You can
Still need camera. Can I off?
Okay lah. Why Calvin still concerned about camera? Yeah. After the short break, no need camera already. You feel more relaxed, right? Without camera.
Yeah.
Okay. Later lecture, no need turn on camera. You may turn off now if you want to. Yeah, thank you so much. 3 of you cooperate turn on the camera so that I know how you look like. Now the lecture notes has been uploaded here, Google Classroom. ORSM, when you look at the slide, the ORSM team. So I don't really like if all the PowerPoint team the same. I did for my own PowerPoint, I changed the background. So later on, after the short break, how many minutes? 15 minutes. pilot back. So 24 to 40. So we start at 140, chapter number 1.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, see you
Okay.
then. All right, three of you here already.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, Pharaoh is here. How about Kelvin and Noel?
Yeah.
Yes, Kelvin.
Yeah.
Yeah. My background clear or my background noisy?
Okay.
Okay, okay.
Okay, no problem. Because I'm turning on my fan, I'm not sure whether noisy. So no problem, yeah. Yeah. At the meantime, if you found like my voice not clear, background too noisy, please inform me, interrupt me anytime. Okay, no worry about that. So yeah, we start. Yeah. This chapter we have about 60 plus slides. Today I cover half on it. So I will go quite slow today. You don't have to worry. Um, if possible, I uh, prefer if you can print out the lecture notes. Yeah, because this is a theory full with facts. So will be nice if you can print out and you can jot down all the additional reference that I share with you. So our objective for chapter number 1, describe key securities in computer securities. These are the three terms that we call CIA triad: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. This topic is a must for every student when they learn computer security. They must know these three terms. And of course, there are subtopics on each one. Discuss the types of security threats and attacks. The following topic will be on the next lecture. Three fundamental questions. Some people they will ask when talk about computer security, they will ask about what assets do we need to protect? Do we need to protect data? Do we need to protect our computer hardware? Do we need to protect computer software? Or do we need to protect the computer data? There's a different area we have to understand very well, which assets that we need to protect first. Second, how are those assets threatened? That's why we need to understand what kind of threats or vulnerabilities are available. What can we do to counter those threats? How to overcome those threats? If available different types of vulnerability, how can we avoid, how can we counter those problems, right? Here we look at slide number 4 here. According to the NIST, NIST, National Institute of Standards and Technology, this is a definition of computer security. If you have a highlighter in a soft copy, you may highlight those keywords that are deep. Measure and controls that ensure confidentiality, integrity, availability of information system assets. So the asset here referring to, okay, the asset here, let me highlight for you. So the asset here referring to hardware, software, firmware, data, and informations. In terms of these three, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Now, before we proceed, what do you understand by this term, confidentiality? I wish three of you share your opinion. Okay, what do you think about, since there are three terms here, right? So three of you, maybe Noel talk about confidentiality, Farrell talk about integrity, and Kelvin talk about availability. No worry, you don't have to worry whether what you share is correct or not. Let me top up for you. You just need to uh, explain what do you understand by the term. Can we start from a Noel? What do you understand by confidentiality? Maybe you can give example.
If confidentiality, I
Mm,
guess it's like privacy, like how it's not,
privacy.
yeah, how it's not exposed to the public kind of.
Yeah, privacy means in public manner shall not our personal data shall be private and confidential shall not be released or known by other unauthorized party. Right? Correct. Noel, correct. How about integrity? Mm, Pharaoh?
Um, uh, for me, in my understanding, like
Mm,
integrity is like focus on the data being modified, like
mhm.
like to protect the data from modified by the inside workers like that, something like
Yes,
that.
correct, Pharaoh. Thank you. So integrity here, as what Pharaoh explained, uh, shall not be modified. Okay, the sender, recipient, the data sent, data received shall be the same, shall not be modified. And Pharaoh did mention about internal. So means workers in an organization. There's a major threat, and not say major threat, it's an internal type of if there's certain aspect where there's certain reason why internal employees they want to modify the data. Could be to show their grievances. Could be something happened to they feel unfair in their work. That's why they want to modify the data. Might cause some problem to the organizations. Then how about availability, Elvi?
I just make sure the system they're easy to access and find the software and hardware, those things.
Okay. So when you mention this, you have to be careful. Okay, thank you, Kevin. Easy to find. Who shall be
For
by?
the relevant for the relevant people, like when they
Yes,
pay for the software already, and then easy to get the that easier
yes,
to get the
correct.
system.
Yes, correct. So when you do answering your test or final exam, please remember the terms that you use. Easy to access. Who? The people who are the authorized party. They can access the system or they can access the data when the time they need. The system is available when the time they want. So these three CIA, please take note. Please take note. This is important and consider a big topic in chapter number 1. So later on, we will discuss in detail on each one of these terms. Yeah, this is here. Confidentiality. Yeah, like what Noel shared just now. Data confidentiality. Here, yeah, I highlight here. One is about the data. Another one is about the privacy. You see the difference here? So data confidentiality here to make sure that the information is uh, cannot be easily accessed or cannot be disclosed to some other parties. Okay, there are two terms that cover under confidentiality, data confidentiality, to assure that the confidential information will not be available for unauthorized individuals. This is the term that we always use. Unauthorized means they have no right to access. So privacy here to assure the individual's control or influence what information related to them may be collected and stored by whom? Who shall keep the data? Okay, who shall keep the data and who shall the data send to? Okay, privacy to authorized party who send and who receive. Then how about integrity? We look at data integrity here. Assure that the informations and programs are changed, not saying that they cannot change, still can change, but only by authorized party. What about system integrity here? To make sure that the system will not be easily changed, will not be easily changed or manipulated by unauthorized parties. Still again using this term. The last one, availability, to make sure the system and the services will be available, will not be denier, will not be service denier at the time they need. Okay, service is not denier to authorized user when the time required by the authorized users. I think these three terms quite clear here in this slide. Uh, Three of you, do you have question on these three terms?
The integrity, if the if the if the company like manipulate the data to get advantage, that means the doesn't have, it has low integrity, right?
If the company,
uh,
if the system change based on the requirement needed, then no problem. But out of the requirements, I mean they're doing some changes were not required by the top management. That means no integrity.
okay.
Yeah. Suppose cannot be changed. Suppose cannot be changed. Whether data or system suppose cannot be changed. But there are certain, of course, they are always case to case basis. If let's say necessity required based on the project requirement, they can amend or they can change, but only by authorized party.
If they hide important information, yeah,
If they hide,
important information,
then of course cannot. If they hide means they are why they want to hide the information? Who will hide the information?
like top management, like
Oh,
hiding a flaw in this.
so I mean they don't want to disclose to
Like the company got hacked, but I don't want to acknowledge like that.
the company got hacked, but they don't
uh
want to
don't want to
share.
like, yeah, don't want people to know that the data compromised like that.
Then then they have to look at the rules and not say rules and the company what they call it company not say company rules, whether each one of the party, each one company holders, stakeholders, they have the right to know or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if they have the right, then they have to know, right? Have to look at the list of agreement. There's a reason why they want to. Of course, if they don't want to disclose, means they don't want many people knows about it and then do some bad reputations to the company and so on, right? This is what you mean, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So have to look at the agreement between the company's agreement between all the stakeholders. If they have the right to know, then they need to be informed. Let's do the same CIA. We call it CIA triad. Confidentiality, integrity, availability, still the same thing. It is a summarized slides from the previous. Key security concepts. So we look at the CIA here. Here you go through the content. Preserving authorized restriction. You look at this topic, they are repeating so many times. It means this is a popular topic. Okay, popular topic. So please focus on this CIA. Make sure you're able to explain clearly each one. So we look at confidentiality, preserving authorized restrictions on information access. Still again talk about data cannot be disclosed. Integrity cannot be modified or disrupt. Availability, they can access and they have the reliable access. It means at the time they require, they can access. That's all. Okay, CIA. So next one, authenticity. So this chapter, yeah, mainly if you notice, we learn all the terms, all the new terms in computer security. So authenticity here means whether the data system genuine, able to verify, and trusted is something true, not the fact. So the message, when we talk about the message, there are many examples here. So when we talk about the message sent from the sender should be the same from the time you receive. Don't talk about what happened in between the transmission. Okay, the transition period. So message sent and message received shall be the same. Primary tools we use here is digital signatures. This one we will learn in detail, chapter number 3 and 4, about cryptography. Accountability. So what is accountability here? Generate requirement for action of an entity to be traced, unique to that entity. It means that when we correct the system, okay, when someone modified or maybe improper activity has been done, so this all improper activity shall be recorded and can be traced from the authorized party. Okay, so system must keep record of their activity to permit later forensic analysis. If the if the company, if the let's say we don't talk about the management, we talk about system analysts. Right? If they found that there are improper activity done in between the period, they might need to find out what are the activities that not in proper sequence. So they have a way for them to find out. They have a way for the record is there, so they can trace out. If you notice in Google document or Google worksheet, you can trace if you did some changes to your document, you can always check the history, what action that you have done previously. Okay, that something means you can trace back the previous activity, accountability. Okay? Is that clear? I try to talk, explain a bit slow here. So far, okay?
Okay.
Okay, if I'm talk too fast, please acknowledge me. So there are three levels of impact here, low, moderate, and high. So when we talk about low impact means they will have minor effects towards the organizations. Could be example, could be minor damage to the organization assets, could be result the minor financial loss. Then moderate will be slightly another level. So result in a significant harm to individuals, could be cause a life-threatening injuries, could be cause a significant financial loss to the organization. That's moderate level. Then high level, high impact to the organization, might cause major damage to the organization assets, could be cause major financial loss, mean lost a lot of money compared to a low impact, and then could be harmful to individuals involving loss of life or serious life-threatening injuries. So that's under high impact, so low, moderate, and high. Computer security challenges. There are quite a number of here. Yeah, before I proceed, could three of you glance through these slides before I explain? Done?
Oh yeah.
So here they are listed about 10 challenges in computer security. So we look at the first reason here. Computer security, let me change my pointer here. As this is not, computer security is not as simple as it might first appear to the novice. It means that when for the, let's say freshman, for the new parties, okay, they might thought this is simple. Computer security, you talk about cannot access to computer system and then how do we protect. But computer security actually is much more complex than how usually people think of, right? Some people, they might think straightforward. Okay, some people, they might think straightforward means they will, when they look at the term, they in their mind will be, oh, computer security is protect computer, that's it. But actually the mechanism of computer security is much more complex. Number two, in developing a particular security mechanism or algorithm, they always consider different potential attacks. The attack could be towards your computer system. The attack could be towards your life-threatening organization members, right? There are different aspects available. So we have to always consider the potentials attack and the results and the consequences. What about number three here? Procedures used to provide particular service are often counterintuitive. Here it means that sometimes we cannot predict what will going to happen. So we have to, again, related to number two, we have to always list out an O aspect. Next one, physical and logical placement needs to be placement. Okay. For number four here, what do you think about this one? What do you understand by this one? Physical and logical placement needs to be determined. Yeah, what do you understand by this sentence?
Maybe there are
Yeah, someone sharing, isn't it?
The employee need to know the how people act.
How people act.
Does it count?
Thank you, Kevin. Some more? You want to share some more?
Uh, the logical placement, I'm not sure. Not sure what it means.
Can you speak louder a little bit?
Well, what does logical placement mean? Physical, the employee count is physical
Yes,
placement.
could be, could be.
Oh, the logical,
Mean a logical
logical
way in a system
arrange,
or in, yeah.
arranging the system page, those things.
Yes, could be, yeah.
Oh, okay.
How about a Pharaoh? Do you want to share something about this?
No lah. I mean, Kelvin already mentioned what I want to say.
Okay, then how about Noel?
maybe maybe there are the
Yep. My sister seems The sound so smooth. Huh?
Uh,
Yeah, okay, I can hear now. Yeah, you want to share something, Noel?
maybe the router, the server, yeah, how to the place to get more security.
Yes, yeah, thank you. Yeah, that could be because those are physical components where we have to understand where to use them. So when we design a security mechanism, there's a necessary to decide where to use them. Like just now you mentioned about the physical component communication devices. Yes, correct. Okay, thank you. Next one, additional algorithm or protocol may be involved. So this one security, computer security mechanism, right? Typically, they will involve more than the normal algorithm or protocols. They might require participants to have a secret information leading to issue the creation, distributions, and about the protections of their secret data. If you want to have a high protection, of course, they need additional protocols, okay, in their protection. Next one, attacker only need to find a single weakness. The developer need to find all weaknesses. Yes, correct. In order to protect our computer system or data, we have to always look for, just like for example, if you want to um, we want to avoid pencuri, we want to avoid those thieves coming into our house, we have to, uh, how to say, we have to maintain all the all the fences, pagar-pagar semua, because we want to avoid them to access our compound. We have to protect everything. We have to protect all the environment just to avoid one single unauthorized assessment. But for attacker, they just need to find out a little, one small weakness on the computer system. Then that's it. Okay, the computer system will be destroyed by a little single weakness. That's why the developers, they have not the easy job. Developer, they have to find all aspects whether can the attacker attack on the security, attack unauthorized access to the data, or some other way. So they have to consider every aspect. Next one. Users and system management tend to not see the benefits of security until a failure occurs. Let me give you examples. If, let's say, if our if our computer never being attacked before, we might not understand the importance of security. Okay, do you agree? If our computer never being attacked by some other people, we will not see the importance of computer security. Just like if I don't want to give examples of the house, other example are like authorized assessment. If your mobile data, if you have a PNC, sensitive information or data in your mobile phone, those data, if you didn't protect, usually if never being hacked, you might not see the importance of protection. Do you agree with my sentence?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, agree, right? So that's why you see all the users and system management, because they are not on the field, because the users, the organization users, and the managers, organization managers, or could be the system managers, they might not truly see the importance of the protection until the time of the failure in the system or being attacked. So this is one of the challenge. So when on the first implication, when on the first implementations, there will be the challenges. They might think of Yeah, this one no need to protect. That one no need to protect because they haven't seen the importance yet. Next one, security requires regular and constant monitoring. Okay, this is clear. Of course, because those time of attack could be getting more and more at once. So the securities in the organization has to be always monitored. So next one, often an afterthought to be incorporated into system after the design is complete. Um, okay, so this is mean that the the system that developed at the beginning of the level, of course, it is completed but not perfect yet. So it needs time to slowly improve. Okay, slowly improve the loopholes until it is fully protected or fully completed. Sort of as an obstructions to efficient and user-friendly operations. So many users or the security administrators, they might view strong securities as, hang on, let me rephrase my sentence. The security administrator, they can see the importance of the operations other than the importance of the security, but they also need to make sure that user friendly. User friendly reason. When you're creating a system, it is not for your use, right? It's for the organization's users. So the system that created sometime when you want to be the user friendly, they might be lack of certain uh, system performance. So there's some have to find out the balance in between. That could be a challenge for the system programmer as well. All right, that's all for the challenges. Let's proceed a little bit more. Yeah. These are the assets of a computer system that need to be protected. If you have a highlighter, please highlight this one. Okay, these are the assets that asset here means the harta, right? In the organization that has to be protected. Okay, hardware, software, data, communication facilities, and a network. So hardware here included the whole set of a computer system, included data communication devices like what mentioned by Novel, right? Communication devices, all those are considered hardware. Software here, including your system utilities, your system applications, operating system. Data here, including database, company database, as well included password. Okay. Organization users, they have their own properties, right, on PC. Each one of them has their own password. Those are considered one of the assets that need to be protected. You imagine if unauthorized party access to the one of the computer system, salah satu pekerja, one of the computer system to one of the employees. Okay, they can hack the password, they can access. So what happened? Definitely they can alter, right? They can alter database. So if the database has been altered, it means loss of integrity. Next one, communication facilities and network includes all types of network. Let's say your local area network, your wide area network. Okay, you go to next slide. Oops, sometimes my PowerPoint. This is important. Look at next slide. These are the new, there are some terminologies that we were going to use it throughout this semester. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the most common words or terminology we use here, attack. Here, what is attack here? Go through the definitions. Countermeasure is the actions used to reduce the threat. Usually a student might not so clear on a threat and vulnerabilities. These two. So what is a threat here means, hey, look at the definition here. This is a potential danger that might exploit the vulnerability, just like a trigger. Okay, a trigger. So next one, vulnerability is the weaknesses of the system. Could be in the design, could be in the implementations, could be in the management operations. All right, any question up to this slide?
So threat is
Yeah.
Noel first.
Yes.
uh,
Carol? Oh, no, well. So quiet suddenly.
I,
Do you have anything? You have any questions?
uh,
Yeah, no question for me. I actually
No,
after
I
I
see.
read it, I read again, then I understand.
Okay. So, maybe let's see how many slides we have. 13, we still have time. So maybe I give you 2 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes to run through all the terms here. Okay, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so far. Okay, let's proceed. Am I too fast? 2 minutes already?
okay.
Okay.
Okay, so this one showing the relationship. The relationship from the terms in the previous slides. This one I leave it to you. Next one, these are the approaches, possible methods that lead to the breach of security. Do you understand by this title, lead to breach of security?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, breach security means how to say in Malay? What's the best word to?
Tumbus.
Yes, correct. Yeah. Kevin, do you understand this title?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, good. Uh, so CIA confidentiality, they are few approaches. These are the listed. You don't have to worry too much because some of the topic we will go to in detail again. Yeah, okay, like this one, denial of service, eavesdropping, those we'll go to in detail again. So you run through this slide again. Talk about this one approaches confidentiality, eavesdropping, link monitoring, packet capturing, system compromisation is about uh, from the sender to recipient in between the data, the transmission period could be accessed by unauthorized party or the third party where they can access to to the informations. Okay, so integrity here. Types of approaches talk about changes of the data. What else? Making use in delay communication, also one of the approaches. Modified hardware also can cause the breach of integrity security. What about availability here? If no hardware or damage, definitely the system might not be available. What else? Noise, removal, routing, erase program, DOS attack, DOS denial of service attack, where my costs temporarily disable. Let's say website, let's say online shopping websites. This denial of service attack where might send a lot of repeatedly send a lot of messages where might cause the user, the online shopping user, they might not be able to access to the websites because denial of service attack might continuously sending out. They can use the botnet. I'm not sure whether you learned this. Have you learned like about botnet or army attack before? Zombie. Did you learn those terms before?
Not but a bit of
Adakah? Do you ever play a game like the Zombie Garden?
oh that one.
Oh, that one. Zombie is something like you are acting something, but without your acknowledgement. Means someone using your computer to attack, but without your acknowledgement. Okay, slowly more and more zombies computer might keep on attack because we have no idea has been used, right? So when keep on attacking the website, towards the end the website might not be able to serve to the public. So that might definitely cause a loss to the organizations. That's usually for politics issues, or could be financial gains reason behind, right? Next one, we look at here. We have a few more slides to go. Tools for confidentiality. So these are the methods we use. Okay, these are the tools or methods we use to protect confidentialities of the assets. First one, encryption. I believe this one, encryption, you heard this term before? Did you heard this term before?
Right.
Yeah.
So, encryption, just a revision for you, huh? Just a revision. So transformations of information using secret key. So when the message sent out, the message will be converted to a ciphertext. Ciphertext, even though, okay, even though eavesdropping, you see this term in the previous page, eavesdropping is someone who interrupt your transit data, who are trying to access your data in the middle, in the transmission period. So even though they access, but they might not understand the content because the content has been changed to ciphertext. So the text might be, after encrypt, become a ciphertext and then decrypt again using a secret key where the recipient can read the original data. This is the first tool to protect confidentiality of our asset. Second, what we call here is access control. Yeah, my PowerPoint sometimes doesn't, yeah. Access control to protect confidentiality. What is this? You look at the screen here. Limit access. Let's say you have your computer system in the organization. You, if let's say you are top management, okay, you are top management, you can assign who can access the particular computer system where store a lot of sensitive data. Are you clear? So limit access. You only assign those people, trusted people, who can access to the computer system. So this need to know may be determined by identity, such as person name. So here they're talking about they are using what they call it. They are using a factor. They call it factor. Um, they can use your own serial number or their own password to access the computer system. Okay, they are limited users, limited computer users. At the same time, the user might need to remember what is their secret key or secret password, serial number to access the computer system for highly, of course, for highly computer security reasons. Next one, authentication. Okay, like your handphone, mobile phone. Most of us, how we protect our mobile data could be you use what is it? Iris recognitions. Okay, iris recognitions, one of the authentication way for you to unlock your mobile phone. Other than that, maybe you use a pattern, password. But here, you look at the slide here. This authentications is talking about someone has. Mean what do you have? This one, access control is talking about what do you know. Let's say you know your password. Okay, you know your PIN codes. That is access control. Someone you have, let's say you have your iris, you have your car key. This is under authentications. This is a unique authentications by individuals. Okay, so next one. Yeah, they list out three factors here. Other than someone has, they did list out another factors here. Has, knows, and is. So mean they include what do you know. Means the password could be the where in authentication as well. This one, please take note. This question also quite popular. Okay, please take note. These are the three ways or three tools in authentications. On what the person has, your student ID, employee ID cards, could be secret key. Something you know would be your password or PIN code. Something a person is, including your iris, including your fingerprints. Next one, authorizations. This one related a little bit on the, what's the previous topic just now? To access control, okay? They will determine if a person or system is allowed access the resources. Such authorization should prevent attacker from tricking the system into letting him have access to protected resources. What does it mean? It means the computer system will only allow to be accessed by authorization party. Okay, by authorization party. That's why what I mean just now related to access control, because top management could always assign particular computer users who might have the right to use the computer system where consists of sensitive data. Next one, physical security. Just a simple way you lock the door. Okay, you may lock your this one office door. What else? You can move into the room where without any windows, nowhere for people to come in, unless from the rooftop. That one, another topics. Okay. Okay. Another example, physical security could be, if you notice, the company who are selling hardware, computer hardware, they usually will lock the tools. They will use the lock to protect their company hardware, the computer hardware, so that will not be easily taken by other people. What about tools for integrity? To avoid integrity here means to avoid any changes to what? Changes to the data. First, backup. Okay, periodical backup means you set a time frame, whether you would like to backup once in a month, once in a week, and depends on the amount of the data required. What about checksum here? Computations of functions. Okay, it's a type of functions where um, the data that's sent will be represented with the values, with numbers of values. So this value shall be the same when the time received by the recipient. If there's a different value, it means some changes happen towards the data. Okay, clear? The next one, data correcting codes. Methods for storing data in such a way small changes can be easily detected and automatically corrected. So this is good, where the changes will be automatically corrected back to the previous status. I mean, cannot make changes unless there are some other reason they want to do so. Availability. What are the tools for availability here? First, physical protections. So mean you keep the hardware there, protect it. When you protect the hardware, at the same time you might also protect the software, right? Number two, computational redundancy. So mean you are selling more than one copy there. In case any failure, you still have another piece. Make sure it is always available when the time required by the users. Any questions so far? If no question, can you raise your little hand there at the bottom? Okay. Well, Hello, also, no problem. Yeah. If I turn off camera, this is I will always ask students to give me some reaction. Thank you so much that you are here. Let's continue. What is this about? Vulnerability, threat, and attack. We look at the categories of vulnerability here. Okay, they listed there are more than that, but here they listed three here. We look at the list. Corrupted. How do we explain this in Malay? Vulnerabilities. I don't find a suitable term. So it's something similar to, it's a type of weaknesses. Okay, it's a type of weaknesses. So first one, corrupted. So that it does the wrong thing or give the wrong answer. Now, for example, if the store data, mm, the store data in the system could be different. If let's say they have some improper modifiers, that might cause a loss of integrity for the data. It may also become leaky. What does it mean leaky? Loss of confidentiality. Do you see the CIA here? Do you see the C here? I, okay, and then the A. Okay, please highlight your lecture notes. Okay, please highlight your lecture notes. CIA again, you see we repeated the same main topic here. Are you done?
Okay.
For Licky here, for example, someone who should not have access to certain information or to all the information that available in the network. If let's say a company network, some data has been shared, but shall be some or certain data need to be protected. It means that not everything can be accessed by everybody. Okay, so next one, loss of availability. So what does it here? Unavailable, very slow, using the system or network become impossible or impractical. Here talking about the network service. Sometimes by the time you require, the result not able to display immediately. So it might cause the loss of the trust in terms of availability. Okay, so far not so deep yet, still introduction. What about the threats? From the previous slide, threat here is the one that might exploit the vulnerability. Vulnerability in terms is weaknesses. The threat ancaman could be more serious here. We look at definition. Potentials for violations of security exist when there is a circumstances, capability, action, okay, trigger, action trigger might cause harmful to the system. Threat is a possible danger that might exploit a vulnerability. So this is important. Please highlight this line, this sentence shows the difference between the threat and vulnerabilities. Attack should be no problem. If you are a game player, attack you should know what's the meaning of attack. So this one, passive active attack. Here we will be in following slide mean next week. In week 2, we will learn what means by active and a passive attack in the terms. But here they did list out the summary here. Passive attack here means the attack might not affect the system resources. Active attack might affect the whole operations as well might alter the system resources. So if you want to know in detail, please next week don't escape my class. Yeah, attend the class next week. We will go in detail, passive and active attacks. Okay, next one is a countermeasures. So what is countermeasure? Someone still remember definitions? Countermeasures? You still remember?
Preventative measures. Just doing things to prevent the
Yeah.
prevent the security breach.
Yes, correct. I like your word, prevent. Yes. Prevent the attack and then how to deal with it. Okay, you prevent and how to deal with it. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, let's start here. So what is the goal? What is the reason? You look at here. Mean used to deal. So just now you mentioned about the prevent, right? The term. So another term here is how to deal with the problem. How to deal with the computer security attack. Next one, what is that? Do they explain here? Okay. So the countermeasure might itself introduce new vulnerability. It means that they have to understand what are the vulnerabilities available before they can effectively countermeasures the security attacks. Okay, next one. The security functional requirements. The text here a bit small, yeah, so you can enlarge your screen. Yeah? Look at each one. So countermeasure in terms of a functional requirements. Give you 2 minutes. Please glance to the slide here. Okay, inform me when you are done.
Okay, done.
Yeah. So I think the content, the lecture notes here quite straightforward, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, quite straightforward. I think the terms here also, all the words here, nothing new here. So countermeasure in terms of, so each of the functional area here might involve both security, technical measurement as well. Let me look at the screen again, as well the management measurements. So first one here, we look at computer security technical measurement include. So I mean, these are the area that we need to concern. We have to look at access control included, what is it here? Identification, authentications, system communication protections, how to protect information. All this we have to take notes when we discuss about the countermeasure in terms of access controls. Second, how about the management control? We can give a training, awareness to the computer users. Okay, uh, well plan with the protocol and the mechanisms, and then always check your environment protections. Okay, environment, physical protection towards your hardware and software protection. What else? You have to always understand what are the risks available. Again, the risk assessment here from different aspects in your assets. How about the last one? Computer security technical measures and management controls, incident responses, and media protections. What do you think about these two?
They both need both technical and the management to do to
Two?
yeah to do the countermeasure.
Yes, yeah, good. Yeah, correct. Correct for this slide. Any question? This slide, countermeasure in terms. They make it too brief. It means later on we will also in detail because introduction chapter, right? Introduction means they will list out briefly all are the some topic we are going to discuss in detail later. Table number 1.2. What are the consequences of the threat? This one, take your time to go through. This one, I leave it to you. These are the consequences of the threat and type of the threat available. What are the action available and each consequences? Okay, maybe let's discuss the first one. Unauthorized disclose means the data disclose. Disclose means leaking out the data for someone that we don't know. Exposure, sensitive data released to unauthorized party. After that, what is the interceptions here? Then the party might use the sensitive data uh, to further actions. Inference, a threat action whereby an unauthorized entity indirectly access. So mean they are expanding the process here and the consequences when there is a threat happen. Okay, take your time to go through the slide here. I have two more slides. look at the relationship between the entities, between the assets. So the assets of computer system can be categorized. This one we did cover at the beginning of the topics. And look at the relationship between the assets. What does it happen and what will be the consequences? Last table. This is a summarized table. Please highlight this table. This is, I think this is good. Yeah, summarize how the CIA and in terms of the assets. These are our assets, remember? Hardware, software, data, communications, and network. How to say availability in hardware? Mean if the hardware being stolen, then the hardware will not be available. This is what they mean. How about availability software? When the program deleted, so user have no way to access and the software will not be available to the user. This is what they mean each column. This is good, yeah? Please highlight this page. Let me glance to whichever you need here. Integrity, availability, confidentiality shall have no problem. Usually student, integrity. Software, when the software change or modified, it might lose the integrity, right? How about data? Still the same, modified to another file. In the communications or transitions period, when the message being modified or be arranged or duplicated, then consider loss of integrity. Do you have question on this table number 1.3?
What is the confidentiality and hardware?
Confidentiality, and then
What's that? DVD stolen.
uh, confidentiality, hardware, software, isn't it? Well, how come I can't hear you clearly? One more time.
Yeah. What does the DVD is stolen means?
Oh, okay. So software, your voice. You haven't taken your lunch, isn't it? Too soft. How about my voice? Too loud or too soft?
Okay.
Okay, tidak
Okay.
garang, ha? Sekarang dah tidak garang. Not check, belum lagi tahu. Hmm. So confidentiality. So basically, confidentiality means uh, cannot be accessed. Okay, cannot be accessed. Uh, what? Another term, cannot be accessed. No, cannot be used, cannot be accessed by unauthorized. So hardware here and unencrypted CD. Okay. Encrypt means we want to protect the file. When encryption means we want to protect the file. So if let's say the CD that we store there nowadays, even though most of the organization upload their files in the cloud, but there are still some organization might keep their sensitive data in CD. There are still some old time organization, they're still doing that. So this group of organization, they save their sensitive data in CD or DVD, but they didn't encrypt it. They didn't protect it. They didn't set the password. What happened when it is stolen? Means hilang sudah. So someone get it. So the unauthorized party, they can access your sensitive data. That's why they put the word here unencrypt. Unencrypt means haven't been protected yet. So it might lose the confidentiality if the CD received by or stolen by parties who want to use your sensitive data in other action?
Oh, DVD is used to store the data.
Yes, yes. I hope I
Oh,
can hear you. Yeah, means the data saved in a CD-ROM or DVD. Because CD, the space. I don't want to mention the size. So when I ask students what is the size, they will told me square, rectangle. So the space in the storage space in a CD is roughly about 750 megabytes, but the storage space for DVD is larger. Yeah.
oh,
Data still can store in a DVD because the storage size larger than CD-ROM. This is talking about those organizations that haven't converted the data or haven't know how to share their files to the cloud yet. Or maybe they didn't assign any company to do so. They still want to keep uh, in physical materials, right? Am I answering your questions?
okay. I,
Yeah, good. Any more questions? So far, out of 10 points, give me a point how much you understand so far. Out of 10 points, up to this slide, I think up to table 1.3. Out of the 10 points,
Um, around 8,
okay, good.
8 point lah.
Yes, thank you. Some more?
yeah, it doesn't.
8 to 10, huh?
Yeah.
8 to 10. Good. Yeah, our topic today quite straightforward, not so tough. Uh, Noel, I just saw your message here. 1:44 p.m. privacy. I guess I already answered your question, right?
The CI.
Excellent. I hope three of you haven't fallen asleep. This is a theory topic. We stop here. 29 slide is enough for today. So next week, we will continue passive active attacks. So after our class today, in the Google Classroom here, theory exercise, um, you can see the Google Classroom. Yeah? This one tutorial, if you notice, I assign each one of you a Google document. So when you click Google Classroom, you will see the Google document share with you with your name in front. So far, let me check out how many questions you can do. Or maybe even we haven't covered, you still can do. Yeah, you can answer all questions, no problem. Yeah, so far we only cover question number 1 and number 2. Number 5, you want to try it out. After that, okay, number 7, this is a passive questions. And
So
number
this
9,
one
you can
before
try that,
tutorial.
yeah, tutorial 1.
So do before the tutorial or during the tutorial tomorrow.
Oh, you see, our tutorial, how many hours?
One.
1.
1 hour. I afraid if we do it in the tutorial class, nanti kita cukup masa to discuss.
Okay.
What do you think?
So
Yeah, I think it will be better you solve it before tutorial class.
okay.
There will be more time efficient. So in the class, because we only have 1 hour, we discuss all the questions. If there is some extra hour, we can do some more questions, some additional questions. If we can finish earlier, then the tutorial class can be dismissed. Rather than do it in the class, sometimes 1 hour might not enough for you to solve all the tutorial questions. Okay? You do it in the Google document that I share to each one of you.
Okay.
Hmm. Do you have question before we dismiss for today? It's a
The
calm.
tutorial one do all right.
Okay, now let me done open for you again. Some question we haven't learned yet, but if you know how to do, you can go ahead. Like question number 1 and 2, you can do. Okay, question 1 and 2, you can do. Like number 3, we haven't studied, we haven't learned, but if you know how to do, you can proceed. Okay, so 1, 2, you can do. After that, 5, you can try. Question number 5, you can try. Question number 7 and number 9, you can try. This is passive question. Okay, no harm to try. Try it first.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Carol. No question? Have you created a group? WhatsApp group?
Oh yeah, I did that already.
Mhm.
I send the invite to Miss.
Oh, okay. Later I will check my phone. Right, if no question, we can stop for today. We are right on the dots. We are not too fast, we are not too slow. Right on the time. Right, thank you, 3 of you. I'll see you next class.
Okay, Miss.
Okay,
Thank you.
Miss. Thank you.
Welcome.